Good evening from beautiful Red Wing, Minnesota, on the banks of the Mississippi. Time for an update. Been seeing a lot of nice content coming on. I figure it's kind of my turn here. It's been a while. So we're going to do the 12 long tonight. I think this tank is looking pretty good. It's filling in nice. The plants that weren't going to make it are out for the most part. The plants that are going to make it have stayed and have for the most part thrived. And it's starting to come in nice, and it's still a very young tank. It's only December, January, February. It's about 2 months old, so still very young, 2.5 maybe. But it's coming in nice. Livestock hasn't really changed. We're still running with, let's see if I can count them all off here. We have a pair of apisto agassiz, and they've spawned once, and I've seen fry. Fry did not make it. Maybe there's 1 or 2 still in there. I don't know. I wouldn't know. But I'm going to let them just take care of their fry. If they make it, great. If they don't, that's fine too, because they sure seem like they are pretty much constantly spawning. I think probably fry gets eaten because they just want to move on to the next spawn. So, yeah, a pair of apisto agassiz that have proven pair have spawned, have fry. And then we have a male and 2 female hongsley. I'm kind of pointing in the parts of the tank that hang out in the agassiz, almost always down here. There's the male right there. God, what a beautiful fish. It's awesome. Kind of bashful. The camera really freaks him out, so he kind of runs away from the camera, but yeah, here we'll get a good shot. Just a beautiful fish. There he is. That spade tail, that aquamarine over his body. It's nice, big, healthy, chunky. I think the female is back there. Yeah, that's her right there. She likes to hang back here. And their spawning site seems to be... There's no flower pot or cave or anything back there. It's just a mass of driftwood and plants, and she seems to put her eggs down back there somewhere. So the pair of agassiz, we have a male and 2 female hongsleys that generally hang out down here. Now the agassiz coming over here looking for trouble because he does run this tank. But the hongsleys hang out down here, and I have not seen any spawning from them. They're pretty shy. They're probably not that way generally, but the aggies pretty much keep them on this end of the tank. But that's male and 2 females of the hongsleys. And they're still fine, healthy, doing well. And then what I still believe is a dozen of the dwarf pencilfish. I haven't found any dead ones, so I assume there's still 12 in there. It's not something I do is sit down and count them. And we got an American flagfish, and he's hanging around simply because he's like the best hair algae eater I have ever seen. He's always tugging on hair algae. If I got it, man, he's after it. So, yeah, probably not the most appropriate fish for this tank, but he's got a job to do, and he does it, and he does it well. So, he stays. And really the only stock change that's happened recently in this tank is went from 3 otocinclus to now I have 6 in here. There's a hongsley right there. That's the male hongsley. He's looking fine, looking good. It's kind of the way it is, though, man. It's kind of a fleeting sight of him. He pretty much hangs into the shadows. Plant list has pretty much stayed pretty stable. Pretty much my favorite plant, one of my favorite aquarium plants, I never can say there's a favorite, is the Crypt Balance. I just love this stuff, how it stretches out across the top and kind of waves in the flow, or Just a really super nice, super easy, fast growing for a crip. Love this, love the plant. And the water lily's doing fine, bacopa's doing fine, of course rotala is always doing fine. Java moss is coming in. I got a couple pieces of the not pygmy chainsword, the small sword. It's not really a sword plant. I can't remember what. Just drawing a blank. Nothing new there. But got a couple pieces in there. It's hanging on. It's not really, I don't know. If it starts getting algae on it too bad, it's going to go. But I just thought I'd leave a couple pieces in there and see what happened. Otherwise, the rest of it all came out. Used to run along the front. So I replaced that with a nice patch of pearlweed, and that's coming in really nice now. Been trimming on it, trying to spread it out, but it seems to be laying down on its own, which is cool. I did not do that. And so I've been trimming off the longer pieces and replanting them, but a lot of it seems to want to go horizontal on its own, so that's good. So maybe it'll give me a carpet, but I think the overall effect of the pearlweed looks really nice. So, anyways, this is 12-gallon long, doing well, real happy with it. Here's a little bonus. When I bought this pearlweed, it had a little stowaway of this what I believe is rotala nanjishin, something like that. Anyways, it just came along with pearlweed. It was unintentional, and had just a tiny little piece, and it's doing well in this tank, which surprises me. There's no CO2 on this tank, but it's doing very well, and looks like I'll have that because I have this piece, and I trimmed that off of a bigger piece. So there's actually two pieces in there somewhere. The other one is the base that'll hopefully sprout off a couple side branches and give me a couple more pieces. But anyways, nice to have that as a freebie. I'll propagate that and start making patches of it. But the algae is not a big problem in this tank. It's it goes through its cycles. I had a bit of a cyanobacteria problem, and I hit it with the ChemiClean. Just within a couple days, it was gone, and just the overall health of the tank just really improved. I think it's dumb for them to call it ChemiClean because it makes it sound like a chemical, because I don't believe it is. I believe it's enzymes, and I think it's healthy, and it sure seems to help the balance of a tank. I just really like the way it's been working for the green algae, the blue-green algae problems, and I'm not going to use it every week or anything, but yeah, it just cured it, solved it, it's done, it's over, and the tank looks fantastic. It looks better now after curing the blue-green algae than it did before I had the green algae. So to me, that ChemiClean is a good product. I've had positive experience with it in 2 tanks now. So I would not like I said before, I would not hesitate to use it again if I have a blue-green algae problem, because the stuff works. So anyways, I don't want to dwell on this and start repeating myself here pretty soon. Get an overhead shot. Looks really nice. Yep. That's not too filmy on top, maybe a little bit. Looks worse in the camera than it does in real life. But yeah, this tank is doing really well. I'm very happy with it. It's very nice and fun to have. I was just sitting there doing some dishes after dinner and looked over. It's like, that tank looks really good. I'm going to have to do a video of it, so here it is. So, appreciate the enthusiasm and comments and support from the guys that comment on my channel, and it's way cool. And I like watching those guys progress and their projects and their, you never know what people come up with here. It's really cool. So, anyways, like I say, I don't dwell on it. Start repeating myself. Start babbling on here. So, thanks. that's the 12 long as of tonight. Looks beautiful. Very happy. Thanks for watching.